Welcome back to Info Squad, where truth equals freedom. Tinfoil hats are often portrayed in movies and fictional stories. These protective helmets of foil are claimed to protect the wearers from a wide range of radio frequencies and telepathic effects. But where do these icons of paranoia get their origin? An early allusion to the insulative headgear that protects the head appears in an unusual 1909 non-fiction publication called Atomic Consciousness by a self-proclaimed seer named John Palfrey, who believed that such headgear was effective for his retention of thoughts and ideas. The usage of a metal foil hat for protection against interference of the mind was mentioned in a science fiction story by Julian Huxley, The Tissue Culture King, which was first published in 1926. In this story, the protagonist discovers that caps of metal foil can block the effects of telepathy. Julian is the brother of Aldous Huxley, the author of Brave New World, and the brothers are both members of the Fabian Society. Some people have the belief that such hats prevent mind control by governments, spies, or even paranormal beings that employ ESP. So does wearing a tinfoil hat have any effect on blocking any of these would-be malicious frequencies? It turns out that a group at MIT in the electrical engineering department put the tinfoil hat to the test. The group ran a radio frequency sweep that ranged from 10 kHz to 3 GHz. This is the same frequencies used by the communications industry, ranging from radios to cell phones. After performing the sweep on multiple versions of the tinfoil hat, they found that the hats only amplified the signal. This works through resonance, and the process is similar to blowing air over a glass bottle and producing a noise that is louder than the original force of air. When it comes to blocking radio frequencies and mind-controlling telepathy, it seems that tinfoil hats just won't do the trick.
What do EVP recordings sound like? Have you ever wondered what electronic voice phenomena recordings actually sound like? If you are curious about the eerie whispers and sounds that some people claim to capture, you are in for an interesting exploration. EVP recordings typically catch faint voices or sounds that are not heard during the recording process but become audible when played back. These voices can range from soft murmurs to clearer phrases, though they are usually quite brief, often just a single word or a short phrase. When you listen to these recordings, you might notice that the sounds can vary in speed and may have a distorted or electronic quality. This is due to the recording equipment and the environment in which the recordings are made. EVPs are often embedded in background noise, such as static or white noise, which can make them tricky to hear. What is galvanism? Have you ever wondered how electricity can make muscles move? This fascinating phenomenon is known as galvanism, a term that traces back to the experiments of the Italian scientist Luigi Galvani in the late 18th century. Galvani first observed this curious effect while studying frog anatomy. He noticed something remarkable. When he touched the nerves of frog legs with metal tools, the muscles twitched even though the frogs were no longer alive. This led him to believe that there was a special kind of electricity within living tissues, which he called animal electricity. Galvani's experiments began in the early 1770s. He was intrigued by the idea that the muscles of these frogs could respond to electrical stimulation. He hypothesized that the brain produced an electric fluid that traveled through the nerves to the muscles, causing them to contract. He compared this process to how a Leyden jar, an early type of electrical storage device, worked. In his view, the tissues of the animal acted like the surfaces of the jar, storing and releasing electricity. In 1791, Galvani published his findings in an essay titled Commentary on the Effect of Electricity on Muscular Motion. His work sparked intense interest and debate among scientists. One notable figure, Alessandro Volta, disagreed with Galvani's interpretation. Volta argued that the electrical effects observed were not due to the animal tissue itself but rather the result of contact between different metals used in the experiment.
Welcome back to Info Squad, where truth equals freedom. Tinfoil hats are often portrayed in movies